bonus-point win, I suppose. What did you make of it?
It's a pleasing outcome for sure. Lots of parts of the performance, but which is to be expected realistically. We've a group here that we're just working away with, limited numbers. Some young guys coming in. I thought they did really well, and I thought the effort was outstanding. It's just trying to be a bit more accurate with some of the execution piece. So overall, pretty pleased. The attitude is probably the big thing, like making sure we bring that attitude the whole time. So it's great to have a big crowd here for the game. I know there's lots on this weekend, and hopefully with the break in the Six Nations, we can try and build on that next week for Ospreys. So hopefully get a big crowd out. We'll see with great interest how the game goes now tomorrow, and just in terms of what players etc. come back potentially, and again just get excited about another big week. So some good stuff today, but plenty to work on, which is good as well.
Was it one of those nights where the squad depth really showed? Both teams are fairly decimated with players, but in the first half in particular, guys like Mikey Alatoa, Ross Maloney, put in some big hits, and it just kind of. Was that the kind of difference between the sides this evening? Yeah,
Edinburgh had us under the pump a lot of the time. So at the start of the game, when it's 0-0, so we managed to hold them out after being on our line for 6 or 7 minutes down this end. And then similarly, to start the second half when we're 14-0 ahead at that stage, but to hold them out when they're camped on our line for probably 10 minutes as well. So that's pleasing, because we had a lot of pressure on, say, Cardiff a couple of weeks ago, where we're not that accurate in terms of capitalising some of the opportunities that we were creating. So it's definitely better today. Still some execution, as I said, pieces that we can get better at. You're right in saying, obviously Edinburgh are missing a good chunk of players away with Scotland. Ospreys are probably less affected than Edinburgh would be, and that's something that we need to be conscious of now next week. And obviously they would have a decent lead in times in terms of prep wise for the game as well. So just trying to put in a big week now for us. We'll get a decent training week in hopefully. For our guys just recover now, and picked up a couple of knocks, but trying to have a big week now and see what we have coming back, and get excited about playing here next Saturday against Ospreys.
On those couple of knocks you mentioned, how's Kieran Frawley for a start? He took a big collision in the first half.
Yeah, so he got a bang in his cheek there. So again, we'll see how bad that is. I'm not sure exactly now, so we'll find out over the weekend how bad that is. So not too bad otherwise today. Obviously Reece just had a tight quad from the team run yesterday, and we made that call was made earlier on today. So try to make a sensible decision. Obviously this is game 1 of a block of 5 is the way we look at it. So even like to Jimmy O'Brien as well, he probably should come back into the mix hopefully next week as well. Reasonably minor for him. We'll see how guys dust themselves down on Monday and put up a new plan together.
And lastly for me, Martin Maloney came in and made his first start. First half in particular, he had a couple of big involvements. There was a turnover right at the end of that kind of 10-minute spell at the start of the game where you were under the pump, where he managed to rip a ball out, and then had a big carry in the lead up to Nick McCarthy's try. Yeah, it
was great for Marty. Yeah, so that's he's a great character, Marty. And even yesterday, he got a sense that Reece might have been struggling, so I was going home yesterday, and he was still studying away in the video room. So he's great attitude, Marty, and it was great to see him do well today.
That's good for me.
Just again on Martin Maloney, obviously, is he someone who possibly been unlucky, maybe not have gotten more chances before now? Because obviously, saw when he was on a 20s player playing alongside Scott Penny, John Hodden, he is someone who kind of, I'm sure, been earmarked. So, suppose be given a chance at that, I suppose, before now, maybe?
Well, he's played games before, so he has featured before, but he's had a few different injuries along the way as well, and that's just part of that academy cycle. So, what Marty is Knockbeg College, isn't he? So, no, it's great, he's come through the youth system and all the rest, so he's a great character in the group, very, very well liked, and hopefully he can kick on from here now.
And obviously, Kieran going off bench, you had 2 Burns on, Harry and Ross together. It seems to obviously they're always going to have a good relationship between the two, I suppose. Yeah,
exactly, and that's the important thing. They have a good relationship and understanding of what they're trying to do. So gives us good balance in terms of the attack as well. So it's definitely, it was good to see it for a extended period of time, 60 odd minutes. So it's definitely a good option for us in the future.
And I think there's maybe once or twice maybe in the past, I think maybe last season, but I suppose it's good to have an option where one maybe could be able to slip into 12 if it was called on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've seen it already with Johnny and Ross have played together a few games as well. So for us, the way we want to play, it's very helpful having that second ball player. It's much harder in terms of if you're the opposition defence trying to pick up cues. Having that second ball player. So it's definitely something that we will look at in the future again.
I know we obviously talked about this kind of block of fixture is good, I suppose, from that point of view, get off the win and then hopefully build next week. Obviously, I think 4 games pretty much come up straight after one after the other now. So
yeah, exactly. Like, it's such an important period, isn't it? With the amount of cancellations or / postponed games over Christmas, this block was going to be very, very important. And it's exciting for this group to know that they have a good chunk of rugby to look forward to. So just making sure that they make the most of the opportunity that they have now, because everyone wants to be involved in the big games towards later in the season. So it's a great window for guys at the moment, and there's a lot of points up for grabs as well. So making sure that we just try and battle out for every single point that's there. So this is, you're right, block of 5 games obviously, but then this block of 3 games in the RDS as well. So try and build on that week on week and put in big performances. And we're, as I said, Ospreys next week, Lions short turnaround. After that, then we're on the road then to Treviso and up to Ulster then as well. So it's good. It's an exciting block for the guys.